Here we are. Okay. Welcome to Art Money Success Podcast. This is Maria Brophy, and I've got a great guest with me today. Her name is Hana Daly. How you doing, Hana?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. And Hana, actually, for those of you who can't see the video, Hana came to my office, and we are here live, which, you know, most people, when I interview people, they're on the other side of a screen. So it's fun having you here in person. And we're just going to have like a casual conversation.
Perfect.
But the reason I wanted to have Hana on is because, well, up until I want to say 3 or 4 weeks ago, I didn't even know who you were. Right. Sorry, no offense. Nice. But then this viral video popped up on my feed and Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? So So Hana went viral overnight. So we're going to talk about what happened. We're going to talk about how she got stiffed in payment by a client and their crazy reaction to her taking it public. So let's see. Before we break all that down, though, let's get a little background on you. So you're a muralist. Is that the main thing you do?
Yes, that's pretty much. It's almost all I do. It's my favorite thing to do. So I have been painting murals for like 20 years in San Diego. I started my business, Hana's Murals, and I started with mostly like kids stuff, like little kids' rooms and everything. And then it's grown and grown. Kind of in 2017, it really started to take off. My kids were grown up enough that I was able to put a ton of time into it and do it like, 100% of the time. And then probably in the past like 3 years, it's just gone crazy busy. So I've been around long enough in San Diego that I know enough people. Like I got my contractor's license. So I work in like schools and hospitals and do a lot of corporate stuff. And I still do residential. But yeah, I'm like busier than I can handle.
What a blessing. Do you ever hire people to help you, or do you just do it all yourself?
Yeah, I hire subs sometimes to help me. And it's really fun. I love having other people around. I don't have any full-time employees. I've considered it, but right now it's just me. And then when I need to bring people on, I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew and I have done murals over there. Now I'd say we have done. I get the job for him. I close the deal. I will hang out with him all day and hand him paint, help him carry stuff. And every now and again, he'll let me paint a little something. It's whenever we've gotten really big walls, we hire people to help because it's physical work. You have to be really strong and you have to have a lot of energy. I
know. Yeah. It's amazing though. Like it's a job where you don't really have to work out as much. Like I eat a ton and I don't work out as much, but I'm like up and down ladders all day long. I'm squatting, I'm standing, so like it's hard on my body, but like I feel like in kind of a good way because you're doing different things every day. Like it's so much better than just like sitting in a computer chair all day. So it's really difficult. I'm super sweaty, but it's just amazing because at the end of the day, you can like take a photo of this big mural you created. And
what's the biggest wall you've ever painted?
Biggest ever? I'm trying to think. So I just did some really tall ones. The tallest one I've ever done was like 75 feet, which was a lot. That was on scaffolding, which I was like climbing up and down on a ladder.
So are you afraid of heights?
I don't love them. Yeah, that was terrifying. I just finished one at the Marriott in San Diego that was like 25 feet by 35 feet. There were 2 of them, but they started like 25 feet off the ground. So that was like intense. And I was on this insane boom lift where like there's like a palm tree here and a house here. And I'm like trying to maneuver this boom lift in between and like not run into the cars going by. And like, so the taller ones are the hard ones. Like long, 10 feet tall and 100 feet long, whatever. Like I could do that all day.
Yeah.
But it's the height that gets me.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's dangerous if you think about it.
I mean, the boom lift, my wife was super freaked out. She's like, are you going to fall out? And I'm like, I'm flipped in. The boom lift isn't going to fall over, but I'm more worried about like running into stuff.
Yeah.
So that's better than scaffolding where you're like, then have to clip in and out and crawl up ladders. And that feels more dangerous than like lifts.
Oh, so for anybody that's listening, if they want to look you up on Instagram, what's your Instagram handle?
So it's just Hana's Murals.
Hana's Murals.
Yeah, no Hannas. Murals.
Hannas Murals.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, check her out while we're talking. And I also want to invite anybody who's listening live to leave comments or questions for Hana. And also, if you want to let us know where you're listening from, that'd be great. Okay. So we're going to get right into the viral video. So let's see, where should we start? Maybe we should start with you painting this mural. When was it for this client?
Yes.
And they didn't pay you.
Yeah, so it was almost exactly a year ago.
Okay.
I painted a mural for Rusty Surfboards on the side of a liquor store in Carlsbad in San Diego, more or less. And so I worked with their marketing team to develop everything. We had it down. It was, and I finished the mural super fast. I did it in like 5 days. And because I had a bunch of other projects backing up. And it was kind of weird at the time because like they immediately, like I sent an email to the marketing person and they had like gotten fired. And then they're like, okay, now work with this person. And then they got fired. And then they're like, okay, now you're working with the CEO, Jen Cassidy. And I was like, okay. And so I finished up the mural. I sent like progress photos to all of them. They're super pumped on it, excited about everything. And then as I was like, does everything look good? It looks great. I get an email from her like, oh my God, we love it. Rusty saw it. He loves it. Like, we want to work with you more. Stop by. We'll get you paid soon. And I was like, great. And I had sent my invoice. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Like, and that's how I hope all my jobs end, which most of them do. Like, everyone's super happy and they're like, great, well, And so within like, I want to say a few weeks, like I hadn't gotten a check. So I was like, hey, just checking in, and they're like, oh my God, sorry, like send us a W-9. So I'm like, okay, sure. Like, we'll get you paid soon. Great. And then a few months go by and I'm super busy, like I do all my business myself. So it's, and luckily I'm in a place where like, it was a big amount of money, but I wasn't needing it right then. So I just kind of.
How much was it? How much
it was almost $16,000. So it was $15,750, which is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
And I had paid probably $1,000 for the scissor lift, plus on some subs, plus paint. So, I was into this mural probably nearly $1,500.
Yeah. Plus 5 days of your time.
Plus.
Well, and more than 5 days because you have to, before you even start the painting, you're doing the sketches, like
designing.
So
So a few months went by, and then I contacted Jen again, and she's just like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And she kept sending me these really long, kind of rambling emails, like that were just about how like she was sick and she wasn't getting paid and things were bad and da da da. And I was just like, "Okay, I'm sorry," I'm a very nice person. And like, I try to run my business with a lot of dignity. So I'm like, okay, she's having a rough time. Their business is having a rough time. I get it. So I was just like, hey, hope you get better. Like, I totally understand. Just let me know if you want to get on a payment plan. Like I'm very easygoing. And so I'm just like, that's fine. Like, we'll work with this. And so we went back and forth for the next few months from like November to January. And then it just kind of became like, oh, they're not going to pay me or something's happening. Right. Because she kept just making excuses and saying like, I'm so sorry that this is happening. Like, this isn't your problem. I'm sorry, this has become your problem. Like, but we're going through this. We're not paying other people. Like, we might have to go bankrupt, all this stuff. And so luckily my wife is a lawyer. And so she was like, well, let's draft an email to them kind of preparing that if we need to sue them, then we will, So we put together an email that really laid out like on this date, this happened, on this date, this, kind of laying out everything that had happened, all of the agreements, everything, And she responded with like, oh my God, we're so sorry. Like I think we're going to get you paid within 6 weeks. And I'm like, okay, great. Hopefully that happens, but nothing happened. So I got busy painting a zillion other murals at that point. And I was kind of like, maybe I should post this on social media. Cause I was like, I have this like fun local following. Like I like to keep my social media like really local, and like, so people know me, they've seen my work. And so I was like, I bet if I posted it, like a few of my friends would like, and my little followers, like they would be like kind of upset. And I was like, but the problem is there's Rusty Surfboards, but there's also like there's Rusty International. They're different. And I didn't want them all to be like, for it to be confusing. So I sent emails to the other Rusty to be like, hey, they didn't pay me. Like, could you help me with this? I'm considering posting it on social media. And I don't want it to be confusing.
So you've got Rusty Surfboards in San Diego. They're the ones that owed you the money.
Yes.
But then there's other licensees that use the Rusty logo.
Yes. Actually, it's they sold a logo, I think, years ago, and then they licensed it back to Rusty Preisendorfer, the one who started the company. So he's Rusty Surfboards, and apparel and everything else is different.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was just like, hey, I don't want you guys to get messed up in this. Like, could you help me? And they just didn't respond. So then like, whatever, nothing happened for a few months. I was busy and I'm like, I guess we're gonna, it's on my list of things to do, like take Rusty to court. And I'm like, my wife, like, okay, she'll get on that.
Take Rusty to court.
Yeah. So, and I just didn't want to do it. I was hoping it would resolve. And so I happened to be at that building on the other side of the building painting a mural for another company. And so I'm painting a mural for this company, and they were super awesome. But while I was there, I was like, oh, I'm going to paint over the Rusty logo, like, since I'm here. And so I like went in my car, grabbed the paint, and like, I was like, oh, I should video it. It's kind of funny. And so I videoed it, like took 10 seconds. And my social media is like,
wait a minute, I want to stop on that for a second.
Yeah, totally.
Because to me, this is the best part of the story.
Okay.
It really is. So imagine this, all you people listening, she painted this giant mural, the client's logo, Rusty logos on the mural.
Yeah.
For a year, they don't pay her. Finally, she gets fed up and she says, you know what? I'm going to go to that wall and I'm going to paint over that mural or I'm going to paint over the logo. That's the logo.
Yeah.
And while I'm at it, I'm going to film it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that is the coolest shit ever. I am not kidding, because I remember years ago, so I help a lot of artists. Like I had this one artist hire me to help coach her because she had a similar thing happen.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, in the middle of the night, go to that mural and paint over it.
Oh, yeah, right.
That was my advice. I don't know if she ever took my advice, but
yeah.
So I just think that's brilliant. Okay, so then you filmed yourself painting over the Rusty logo on the mural, and then what?
So it was very casual. Like, I mean, I had like my sister was in town. She was helping me paint. Like I had my son's girlfriend was there painting. Like we're having this like very fun casual day painting this mural. So I paint over it and I sit in my car and I was like, oh, this would be kind of funny to post it. And so I posted it and I'm like, oh, that sweet moment when you get to paint over the logo of a company that hasn't paid you for a mural for a year or something, right? And like literally probably took me 2 minutes to make the post. Like, and so I posted and just didn't even think about it, right? So by the end of the day, like I pull up on my phone after painting all day, I'm all sweaty, and I pull it up and I'm like, holy shit, it's got like 2 million views or something. I was like, oh, wow.
2 million.
And like, I have a lot of, I'm like, I've gotten strangely good at social media where like, I kind of know like what'll hit, but I often have videos that'll get a few million views and it's like silly little stuff, and it doesn't always get you a lot of followers. Like there's not, but this one I was like, this is kind of different. Like something's happening. There's a lot of like controversy, which I do not like controversy, but also it was a lot of people that were just like, that's messed up. They should pay you. And I was like, you're right. That is messed up. They should pay me.
Well, I think a lot of people were impressed at how savage you are. Because I saw that video, and by the time I saw it, I think it had like 12 million views or something. And I was just like, what? This chick did what? Oh my God, she's my new hero. I gotta talk to her. I just gotta meet this girl.
Well, I'm definitely not savage, so that's the funniest thing ever.
Well, you are a really nice person, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But also just like be a good person. And I was just calling them out for like, just do the right thing, right? Yeah. And I had talked to you earlier and just been like, if they had just been like, oh my God, we're so sorry. We were having financial issues. Like, we'll pay you $500 and then maybe we'll pay you every week or something. Like, had they just been like, we're having a tough time, I would have been like, I get it. Cool. I probably would have taken it on video. Like it was one of those things where like, if they had just made some effort, like a good faith effort, I would have worked with them. But like,
instead, what did they do instead?
So like by the next day, it was up to like 4 million. And I'm like, wow, this is growing fast, right? Like it just kept momentum. And so by the end of the next day, I'm like, I think I'm in Home Depot and I get a message from Rusty International in Australia. And they're like, whoa, what is this? Like, what is happening? Because they're getting spammed on their page with people like, pay Hana, pay your, pay artists. Like, what's wrong with you? Like so many, like tens of thousands of messages to them. And they're like, we don't even know what happened. And they don't. Like, it wasn't this wasn't their contract. This had nothing to do with them. But they're like, it's affecting us. Which I felt bad about. I'm like, I don't want you to go after these people. And I never asked them to go after anybody. So they contacted me and I'm like, I will happily send you like my emails with them, my, contracts, just anything you need. I will send it over. Right. So I sent them everything and they're just like, yeah, this isn't good. And I sent them the invoice and they were like, okay, we'll see what we can do. And so then within like 2 days, it was then up to like 10 million or something. And they're like, we're not going to pay it because it's not our debt. But like Rusty Surfboard said, they'll pay it like 50% by tomorrow and another 50% in 2 weeks, which I'm still like, why don't they just pay the whole thing? But, and so that next day, 24 hours after they sent me that email saying that Rusty was going to pay, I get a letter from them, an email from Rusty Surfboard's lawyer. And it was scary. Like I'm working, I'm on a scissor lift, like I'm sweaty. It's the end of work. I'm like rushing to go out with a friend to this fun, like I'm just like, okay. And I get this email and I'm like, oh my God. So I send it to my wife, like, please look over this for me. And I read through it.
How lucky you are your wife is an attorney.
And that's the thing. And so I think for me, that has become like the most important thing is like they went after me. And luckily I have someone in my life that can help me deal with this. Right.
Yeah.
But so many people don't. So like, if I didn't have her, I think I just would have been scared to happen at that point. I would have just been like, oh my God, this is terrifying. I'm a small business. I can't handle this. Like, what if this does go to court? Like I'm gonna have to hire a lawyer, even though I know I'm right. I know I didn't do anything wrong. It's still so scary. And so that's what his letter was for. And so he threatened me that he was going to come after me for like civil extortion and business libel, and that I better have a lawyer because, this is what he does for a living. And so really threatening stuff. And I was like sick to my stomach.
Did you post a picture of that letter?
I didn't, because I tried not to feed the flames, because I'm not as savage as you think.
Just all you listening, if you send me a legal letter, I'm posting it.
I was trying to calm it down, actually, because I was like, it was scary, the amount of attention it was getting.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, you know what, this is like a bit of a firestorm, and like, I could easily lose control of this, right? Like, I didn't have control of the situation. Yeah. So I was trying not to feed the flames, because I have a lot of stuff to feed the flames. And I've said that if they come after me again, I'm going to post it all, because I have a lot of stuff that people have sent me, stories about them, like that I do not want to post. Yeah. I didn't want to like keep it getting bigger and bigger and getting people angrier, because I just don't like that. Like I'm about like good vibes. Like I don't want to spread bad stuff in the world. I was like, just pay me, Yeah. So they sent me this letter from the lawyer, and then I was like scared, and then my wife talked me through it, and then I was pissed. I was like, this is messed up. So then I posted another reel that was like, hey, instead of paying artists, they pay their lawyer. And that's messed up. Right?
I saw that. I love that. I was just like, I swear, I'm your like newest, biggest fan, because I saw the way you were handling it, and you were handling it with grace and class and strength. You were like, you know what? I'm not putting up with this bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's what I admired the most, is how you handled it, even though there was a little part of you that was afraid and you were being bullied.
Yes, 100%.
And, we can't let people bully us. Especially when they are clearly in the wrong.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, I don't even understand their point of view. And so it just felt so like foreign to me that they would even send a lawyer. And the lawyer didn't even have like the amount of money correct. Like there was a bunch of like stuff that wasn't even true in that threatening letter. So, but the thing that just pissed me off is like, we're not all so lucky to have people that will help us with this. And so I think it's just like, as a small business owner, it's like, it's scary to take on somebody that's so much bigger than you, and that has a lawyer and so yeah, I mean, it just kept getting crazier. And at that point I was like, you know what, like I wanted something good to come of it, because it felt so negative and crazy and big, that I was like, you know what, if they pay me, I'm going to donate it all to charity. And that was the point where I was just like, you know what, like I have enough money right now. Like my business is thriving. And I was like, I just want something good to come out of this kind of like negative thing. So at that point I was like, if they donate it, then I will give half to, there's a foundation where they do like adaptive surf camps. Yeah. And then I gave the other half to surf. Because I was like, this is like something to me that felt like just a good, like a paying it forward in my life. So I was in a position, and people online like went after me. Like, this is why women don't make as much as men, because they're so weak. And I was like, this isn't weak of me. Like, this is strength. Like, I earn that money, and they, if they give it to me, then as they did, then that's what I deserve. But also I chose to donate it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my next step.
Well, I think it's beautiful that you donated it. And to be clear, the Rusty that owed you the money didn't pay you. It was one of the licensees that paid you.
So then it kind of kept going and getting bigger. And then finally Rusty International in Australia was like, we really just need to pay for this.
Because they were taking hits.
Because they were taking hits, which they didn't deserve. People were going after surfers, which I was like, please don't. Like, a lot of them are kids and stuff. I'm like, the surfers have nothing to do with this. So that was upsetting to me. So finally, Rusty International was like, this isn't our debt, but we will pay it because it's fair. And because this is not right for the company as a whole. Like, it's really damaging surfers and stuff who it's just like, it's not their fault. And so they ended up paying it, which was great. And then Rusty Surfboards then they started like their lawyers started saying some really mean stuff online, saying how like Rusty International just paid me to shut me up, and how then they started completely denying that they ever even hired me. Which I'm like, what?
And you have proof. You got the receipts. I'm like the emails and
it's
stuff,
just the
right?
weirdest. I think they were doing it like just to muddy the waters.
Yeah.
They just were like, they needed some statement out there that just to confuse people.
Yeah.
So then they started saying like, oh, we don't even know who she is. Rusty's never even seen the artwork, which I have an email saying he loved it. So from the CEO.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and like that, we've never even used that logo before, which they totally do use that logo. So, and so they just like started putting out a bunch of lies and stuff. And
what do you think? So, I mean, it's hard to get into somebody's head, but why would they do that? Why would they lie? And I mean, who do you think was behind it?
I mean, I don't know, right? Like I can't get up in their heads. I mean, I really, like I said, like there's a way that they could have dealt with this very quickly and like with some dignity, and just even if it was just paying me a little at a time. But I think they kind of felt like they got backed in a corner, and then they would just like lie to get out.
Yeah.
Just to confuse. And it did confuse people online. And like I will say, like people have been going after me, like in my DMs. Like I had somebody DM me the other day that was like, I'm sure you're a great person, but I hope you get hit by a bus.
What?
Like, so that kind of thing is just like, it's so scary. And I'm just like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like they asked me to, like they hired me to paint a mural. I painted the mural. They loved it. And then like, now I'm getting attacked. It's like, it's so messed up.
Jeez, that's crazy. So here's a question from Charlene Marsh.
Yeah.
Did you just paint over the logo or the whole mural? Where was the mural located? Or what kind of building was it on? What kind of surface was it?
So it's painted on the side of a liquor store, which is like the coolest spot in town because it's Carlsbad is this little surf town, and it's right on the corner of like the busiest corner in town. So there's a zillion people that see it, and so the whole mural is like this beautiful wave and a big like hibiscus flower and palm trees and stuff. And so all I did was paint over their logo, and then I had a surfboard on there that had the Rusty logo on it as well. They wanted like this exact surfboard that they sell, and so I just painted over those two logos. And then I just painted it with some fun, cute logo of like the liquor store that it's on. So I did, because I was like, the mural's beautiful. And I was worried, like when it was happening, like, is someone going to deface the mural? Because they think it's just it's like, no, the mural's pretty. Like, I don't need to take that away, you know?
Yeah.
Just their branding.
Oh my God, what a wild story. Let's see. I had other questions. Hold on. Let me look at my notes.
Yes.
Okay. So then what's happening with it right now? Like,
so, I mean, hopefully it's over. Like, I'm to the point where I'm just like, I don't want it to continue anymore. They put out a statement probably about a week and a half ago where they hadn't really said anything other than their lawyer kind of talking smack to the media. But they finally put a statement like on the homepage of their website, on their social media. And of course, Surfer Magazine picked it up because they had done an original story. But they didn't, the thing that upset me about that was like, they didn't ask for my response to their statement. They just posted it, on Surfer Mag, which I was like, you should like get some type of feedback. They just repeated what they said, which was a ton of lies, which was all the stuff about like, they didn't even know me. They never commissioned it. They, all this different stuff. And so I tried to respond a little bit, but I was just like, I don't want to like start this fire again, and I wanted it to be clear. Like, I didn't want to let them muddy the waters and confuse people, but I also didn't want to like ignite this again.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel good. And I did get paid, not by them, like they should have paid me, but I'm sure Rusty International will go after them as they should. Like it wasn't their debt. So
what a wild, crazy thing. Well, I give you a lot of credit for doing what you did and for staying strong, because too many artists get taken advantage of
100%.
and you nobody's going to look out for you but you. Really, nobody's going to look out for you unless you look out for yourself. And this is why we hear stories of artists, you know, becoming alcoholics and drug addicts, and they you know, because they've been taken advantage of for so many years. And you either, you know, as my lovely husband Drew likes to say, sometimes we're put in a position where we have to choose between being either a sucker or an asshole.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of a harsh phrase, but it's kind of true. But I think you handled this with such grace. And
yeah, thank you. I mean, I think you do. It's because we love our jobs. I think is part of it. Is because like as an artist, you feel like your art is like part of you, and so sometimes I think artists don't take it as seriously, and so they don't put the value on it because it's like, well, I love doing it, and and it's like, no, but you've been like crafting this talent for your whole life, probably. I mean, how many hours have I painted and drawn, and how many hours have I put into this skill? So like, you should get paid like a lawyer, $500 an hour. Like you should, because you've put, thousands, probably tens of thousands of hours into your craft. So you deserve it. But I think people just like downplay that because they're like, oh, you love what you do. It's like, well, so what? I should still get paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't have any other live questions in here, but I want to thank everybody who joined us live. And thank you for being on here with me.
Yeah.
Let this be a lesson to all of us.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, Drew and I have always been really sticklers for getting a deposit up front.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like the few times I let that slide, it kind of bites me in the butt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I should have. I mean, I know, and I usually do, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes I've got a school district or that they just like, oh, we couldn't cut the check yet. It's like, don't worry, I know you're good for it. Like, and people are good most of the time. Like I have had like good clients, and I try to respect them, and 99.9% of the time they respect me. But it is very good practice to get a 50% deposit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I just recently had something similar, although on a much smaller scale, but also from a company in the same industry.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I learned this lesson 20 years ago, and then 10 years ago, and then just this year, you just keep learning it over and over again. But anyway, well, thank you for being here with us. And if anybody wants to find you on social media, they can find you on Instagram at...
Yeah, it's all Hana's Murals, HANNAS. And we got Facebook and my website.
And what's your website?
Hana'sMurals.com.
Easy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
and thanks everybody who's listening.
Yeah. Thanks,
and we'll see y'all soon.